सो बोल रहे हैं कि सब में श्रेष्ठ जो है ना वो ज्ञान यज्ञ है, इन सब में सबसे श्रेष्ठतम जो है वो ज्ञान यज्ञ है। सो ही सेइंग काम और मोह की अग्नि ज्ञान को नष्ट कर देती है। प्लैनेटरी पोजीशन आफ्टर 20 डिग्रीज, यू विल बी व्हाटएवर यू विल बी थिंकिंग विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू एक्शन। अग्नि गोज टू Krishna. Okay, and at that time Krishna was there, and he goes to Krishna and he asks Krishna for help, that how can I do. So now remember, Krishna has also an inimical relationship with Indra. Okay, because he also stopped, he was the one who stopped the rain way before, in the form of lifting up the mountain.
And Taurus is opposite to Scorpio.
Is definitely opposite to the Scorpio, and Rohini is the nakshatra for Krishna, and it always falls in the nakshatra, as a sixth house nakshatra for Jyeshtha lagna. So that is why it has this inimical relationship with Rohini and Krittika. So now these two guys, Krittika and Rohini, are teaming up, and they planned bring Arjun into the picture. And Arjun, what he did, he with his skill of arrows made a whole umbrella around the Khandopras, and in this way he was able to burn the forest. Agni was able to burn and eat up the whole forest, and then Takshak had to leave the place. Okay, so had to leave the place, go away. And in this way there are themes where in the pursuit of your action you can actually destroy somebody's home. So this is also a very karmic thing that is attached with Krittika, taking away other people's resources or taking away other people's houses.
Yeah, and because you've just mentioned that you can actually destroy someone's home, I've actually seen this happening in a chart where a guy has literally destroyed someone else's home because he wanted to marry the lady who was already married to someone else. So again, rejection, and again, like destroying the home. And the other thing that you mentioned about Agni, like he can eat so much, and then overeating and problems with digestion. Peacocks जो हैं उनके लिए एक term use करी जाती है, omnivores. Omni means all, and vorous means to devour, like to eat. So they almost eat everything. They may not digest it, but they will eat it, right? So that also shows, like, as soon as I saw that, I could relate it to Agni there, that he will devour whatever you offer him. And so, yes, this is very common that they can have a habit of overeating and can have indigestion problems. And so if you are looking at it, if it's related to the 10th house, then you can also maybe see it, that they may take up more work, like they may associated with like that they can do it all, but then have problems and may need to take help.
Right, that's the same thing with me. I have Cancer lagna, and I tend to take a lot of work but end up struggling with that. So excess, taking things excess. So wherever Kritika is falling, you tend to do in excess, or try to do in excess, and in that you get into trouble. So this is what Kritika has this theme.
So they should probably, like, they should keep it in mind that they should not hesitate to ask for help.
Right, and that's very problematic with Krittika actually. Their ego lies in not asking for help. So it's a sun nakshatra, right?
Yes.
And his sun has a lot of ego with it. Like they cannot ask for help. So that's their thing, because their whole ego lies in problem solving. So this is a problem solver, because Mars has this tendency of solving problems, right? And the Mars side of Kritika is also there, a 1-9 pada, and that side they don't want to take anybody's help. Even the Mars lagna, like Aries lagna, will not even get like right workers for them, because they will definitely try to make sure things are done in their way, and the worker says, no, I don't want to मेरे को काम ही नहीं करना आपके साथ में. So they go away. So I have a lot of people who are very of Martian tendencies, like they will make their own homes. So I have literally seen people building their own homes just because their workers leave them in the middle. And that is also a problem with Kritika. So theme of overeating, stomach issues. So now the point that I want to catch on is the Agni side. So I've been teaching this theme from Ashwini. This Ashwini is the Pranagni, the Agni that is not available easily to you. That's why it's ruled by Ketu, it's gated by Ketu. Okay, then this Agni of Kam Agni, that is in Bharni, that is ruled by Venus. So the whole agenda is to get a childbirth. That is the Kam Agni. And only this last portion of Krittika, that is not last portion, but the first portion that is lies in the Aries part is the Gyan Agni part. That is the Sagittarius Aries.
Yes.
Okay, so the first 13 degrees 20 minutes is all physical energy, the level of energy, the action, the level of action you can do. Then it comes to the restraint side and the calm part, the calm Agni, and the last part governed by Sun and Mars together as a Agni for Gyan. And there is this very famous, when we are talking about yagna, we will have to listen to what Shri Krishna had to say about yagna. So Shri Krishna has said something about yagna, so we'll look at. He says, okay, so Arjun is asking कि क्या है जो पाप करने पे प्रेरित करता है, लोग मनुष्य क्यों पाप करने लगते हैं. तो उसमें बोल रहे हैं कि उस पाप करता है अपने काम और क्रोध के कारण. सो एंगर इश्यूज इज आल्सो देयर इन एरीज. सो काम और क्रोध, सो द वेरी relevance term is talking about कि वो उसकी बुद्धि क्यों क्षीण हो जा रही है. So only this part, like this small portion of Sagittarius Aries 1-9 pada is actually the buddhi part, the conscious part of a general public that is there. So 1-7 1 Sagittarius. So काम और क्रोध के तो क्रोध अश्विनी में ज्यादा है, काम भरनी में ज्यादा है. So काम और क्रोध के कारण he is saying that कि वो पाप करता है. Like smoke covers fire, dust covers the mirror. Same way, knowledge is covered by the काम, मोह and वासना. So जिस प्रकार से अग्नि को धुआं कवर कर लेती है और मिरर को डस्ट कवर कर लेता है, उसी प्रकार से कह रहे हैं कि नॉलेज को, ज्ञान को, that is the Kritika part, is covered by the moh. Where is moh? Moh is actually the moon thing, and moon comes in Rohini and further nakshatras. And the next thing he says is the Tam part, the Bharani part, and the Vasna part. Then Vasna is again the Ashwini things. Why I would say Vasna is an Ashwini thing? Because in Ashwini there is a reflex action things. Reflex action means things that you do to survive. More prominently, those actions where you don't have much control. So sun, as soon as sun comes, you know about those actions. So that is why when I was teaching in Ashwini, I told that Tourette syndromes. So people having speech issues, impairment issues will come due to Ashwini. Like Tourette syndrome, you will find Mercury before 10 degrees in Ashwini. So you don't have the control. That is why you are having. So इसीलिए अश्विनी के अंदर वो बीमारियां होना, नींद में चलना, ठीक है, that will come कि consciously पता नहीं है. So conscious come at 10 degrees. Before that, whatever is there is unknowingly. So bipolar disorder, unknowingly you are not knowing about yourself and you are having issues. Then Saturn comes. The Saturn point is there 20 degrees. So at that point, what happens? Action starts. So now you are consciously taking the actions. You know things what are happening. So एक लेवल है सोचने का, समझने का, जो कि सूर्य के साथ स्टार्ट होता है. तो सन डिग्रीज 10 डिग्रीज से लेकर के 20 डिग्रीज के बीच में देयर इज अ थीम ऑफ कि यू विल बी नोइंग बट यू वोंट बी एबल टू टेक द एक्शंस. आफ्टर planetary position after 20 degrees, you will be, whatever you will be thinking will be converted into actions. So that is why when we come to Bharni and then you move towards Kritika, so Kritika में ही knowledge का part आता है. Knowledge, ज्ञान अग्नि, इसके बारे में भी बात होती है. वो 1-9 की का prominence है, ठीक है. 1-9 Sagittarius. इससे पहले 8 पूरा हो गया, मतलब 8 पदा पूरा हो गए हैं. That is death already there. So 1-7, that is the Sagittarius ज्ञान अग्नि thing. So he's saying काम और मोह की अग्नि ज्ञान को नष्ट कर देती है. So हे कौनते, प्यूरिफाई योर फायर, अपनी अग्नि को शुद्ध करो और अपने सेंसेस को विनम्र बनाओ. एंड किल योर एनिमीज, एनिमी ऑफ नॉलेज. सो अपने ज्ञान के एनिमीज को, शत्रुओं को का नाश कर दो. That's why he's saying is purify your fire, modify your senses, काम और मोह की अग्नि से बाहर निकलने का. Okay, so that is what he is trying to say. Remove Bharni part, remove Taurus part, that is Roni and this thing, and then purify your knowledge. That way only you will be able to become the Gyan Yogi.
So this is only for the pada which is in Aries, right? Because that is going into Sagittarius.
Yeah, I will come to that side. What is actually Kritika going from Aries to Taurus means? क्योंकि योग में भी इसकी बारे चर्चा है, क्योंकि जठराग्नि और ज्ञान अग्नि के बीच में एक संबंध बनाया गया है, और वो जठराग्नि और ज्ञान अग्नि यहीं से आती है.
Okay, okay. I was just thinking that because you said that like कि आपको अपनी इंद्रियों से सेंसेस से बाहर निकलना है and then you will get the ज्ञान, है ना?
Right.
So when you look at it, you go from Aries to Sagittarius. Scorpio is the death, and
Right.
it is ruled by Ketu, and Ketu is all the senses.
Right.
So you basically have to kill the ego, kill your sense, like everything, and then you are getting the into the Sagittarius,
Knowledge.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. फिर बोल रहे हैं कि अब वो डिस्क्राइब करते हैं एक्चुअली पदार्थ को. बहुत ध्यान से समझने वाली बात है कि वो बोलते हैं कि फिर पूछते हैं अर्जुन की हे केशव ये यज्ञ क्या है, तो वो समझा रहे कि यज्ञ है क्या, और ये चारों पदाओं में वो समझा रहे कि चार यज्ञ मुख्यतः 4 प्रकार के होते हैं. He is telling the first यज्ञ is द्रव्य यज्ञ. So द्रव्य यज्ञ he is saying कि वो यज्ञ जिसमें अपनी अर्जित संपत्ति से समाज के कल्याण के लिए कार्य किया जाता है, ये पहला यज्ञ है, द्रव्य यज्ञ. सो इसमें आदमी सोशल वेलफेयर के थीम्स दिखा रहा है. सो नाउ इफ यू थिंक ऑफ कृतिका, सो कृतिका में कौन कौन से पद आ रहे हैं? 1-9, then 2-10,
2-10,
then 2-11 and 2-12. So this relationship, so I have given you Excel sheet also. Okay, so in that relationship and the karmic part, that will be studying in the karma vipaka sahiता, उसको easily करना, और इसको जो थर्ड शीट मैंने दी हुई है एक्सेल में उसमें जरूर इसको मेंशन करना. So द्रव्य यज्ञ he is saying. So now think of it. Who is which sign actually represents social working?
Rahu wala, Aquarius.
Aquarius, right? Aquarius represents social working, NGOs, Red Cross, ये सारी चीज Aquarius की themes हैं. So that means he is talking about Taurus 11 sign as a द्रव्य योगी. द्रव्य योगी ना, धन होना चाहिए ना, तभी तो वेलफेयर करेगा. किसी का धन नहीं है तो अर्जित धन से Taurus 11 का 2-11 का रिलेशनशिप है, तो ही सेइंग द्रव्य यज्ञ की बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. सो कलेक्टेड वेल्थ इज यूज्ड एज अ सोशल वेलफेयर फॉर पीपल. देन ही इज टॉकिंग तपो यज्ञ. तपो यज्ञ ही सेइंग कि जहां पे कर्म ही तपस्या बन जाती है व्यक्ति की. ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट 2-10. ही सेइंग ना कि कर्म ही तपस्या बन गई है, किस जो जब बन जाए, और धर्म का ज्ञान से ऐसा व्यक्ति वो कर्म करे जो कर्म से भी पार हो जाए, फिर वो कर्म के चक्कर से. So he is talking about 2-10. Then he is saying योग यज्ञ. So योग यज्ञ में he is saying, he is basically talking about 2-12. So 2-12 में योग की बात हो रही है, ध्यान की बात हो रही है, साधना की बात हो रही है. तो उसमें बोलते हैं कि ये अष्टांग हृदय, अष्टांग योग का जो साधना करते हैं, जिसमें साधक प्राणों की आहुति देता है, उसकी बात. तो डिफरेंट आहुति की बात हुई है इसमें, कि द्रव्य योग में धन की आहुति लगती है, तपो यज्ञ में कर्म की आहुति है, और योग यज्ञ में प्राणों की आहुति है, जिसमें अंतर्मुखी होकर के व्यक्ति ध्यान में जा रहा था. 2-12. एंड देन ही टॉक्स अबाउट ज्ञान योग यज्ञ. सो बोल रहे हैं कि सब में श्रेष्ठ जो है ना वो ज्ञान यज्ञ है. इन सब में सबसे श्रेष्ठतम जो है वो ज्ञान यज्ञ है, जिसमें व्यक्ति ज्ञान से वो पाता है सही और गलत की परिभाषा उसको मिलती है, और तभी तो वो उच्चतम कर्म कर पाता है. तो इसलिए बोल रहे हैं कि हे पार्थ, ज्ञान योगी बनो. सो दैट्स व्हाट ईच पदा इज टेलिंग अबाउट, कि हाउ 4 यज्ञास आर देयर. सो वो कृतिका से एसोसिएट इस तरह से मैंने किया था.
I will just like to add something, not regarding this. Sorry, I'm just taking you back to breathing, but
Okay.
something मुझे दिमाग में अभी कुछ strike किया. See, जब COVID hit किया है, at that time Rahu was in Krittika.
Rahu was in Krittika. Okay.
Jab I have written the article at that time. I checked. I think maybe when I have written the article at that time, Rahu was in Kritika, but
Okay.
it was like quite strongly affecting second wave. Yeah, I don't know. Lekin then I started looking. Does it really has to do anything with the purification? Because Kritika is fire. Fire is for purifying things.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, when you mentioned breathing, I can now relate it. There is actually a company which makes air purifiers,
Right.
and उस company का name है Sharp.
Okay.
So Sharp is a theme related to Kritika.
Sharp is definitely related to Krittika.
So you can like I just try to relate things like that. Okay, like and we were all covering our nose and mouth when Rahu was in, like, at that time. Okay, and now Rahu is in Bharani.
Right.
Recently, they were talking on the TV that they were coming up with some innovations which was related to this, not only with the purification, but also with the Bharani is also related to stem cell research. So they were, so I'm just trying, I know I'm moving away from the topic, but I just wanted to mention this.
Okay.
Breathing का जो आप बोल रहे थे.
So, Suruchi ji, breathing is not related to Kritika actually. Breathing is actually related to Ashwini.
Oh, you were, okay, yes.
Okay, so Ashwini, why I'm saying breathing is related to Ashwini, because remember the story, Sanjana gave birth to Ashwini Kumar through her nostrils.
Okay.
And meaning of nostril over there is through these Pran Vayu and Apan Vayu.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. But
and
thing that
the COVID part actually started when Rahu was in Gemini only. So it was the Grahan of 2019 December.
Okay.
When Rahu was
so,
in Gemini.
So
only.
again, the 11.
Right. So
Yeah.
it had to affect the breathing because of Gemini in Rahu.
Okay, no problem. But the thing that I looked up about the air purifiers,
right,
that was there. So somehow I don't know how to relate it, but purification, maybe it's only because of the purification part, that air purifiers are purifying the air.
Yeah.
And therefore it is related to Kritika because Agni is also purifying.
So Kritika and purification. So now what I see